Hey guys, Nigel here with you again with another tool review for you, and this is another tool that's come from Premium Hobbies. This has been sent to me by Ed, and just going to do a quick review of it. So first things first, drills. These are the microbox drills that he sells. I didn't get these from him, but they're generally about £10, and from his site I'm looking now, they're £9.95. When you look at these, you might see them on eBay and they'll be like £2.50 or even cheaper, and they may be a box like this with no writing on at all. It all looks exactly the same, yeah? These are not very good. These are brilliant. I've also seen them where microbox is written in lowercase. You've got a capital M and then all the rest is in lowercase, and they're not as good either. Okay, so these microbox drills in the light blue box with the capital writing in black, which is what he says, I believe are the genuine item, and I've always found them to be good. So what I generally do now, if I see these advertised for less than sort of £8 or something, I'm very, very suspicious. And if I see something like this at a show for £10, I don't risk it. So these are you can see there, they've got this kind of coating on them. I've also had them before, not these, but I also bought a set before. And if you measured them, like the 0.3 to the 0.5 were all 0.4, and then the 0.6 to the 0.8 were all 0.7. And then all these here were like, it was crazy. It was about 4 different sizes of drills. So they weren't very good at all. But these I find are absolutely great. So that's the ones to go for. Microbox, written in the capital black letters. And as I say, Ed sells them at Premium Hobbies. And if you use the code NMB10, as I keep telling everyone, you can get 10% off. So basically I've got a little 1mm drill set up in my little pin vise. And what I want to do, I want to drill a hole directly down the centre of here. So what I'll do is I'm going to sand the end to get the end nice and square. Okay, right, so get the end nice and square, and then I'm going to pick up the centre and drill a hole. Okay, and I'm off centre there. And also I need to try and stay straight. If you remember, if you watched my Vulcan video when I did the end of the fuel probe, I messed up. So basically that is a mess. I'm off centre and I'm on an angle. So what I need is some means of being able to drill directly square in the centre. So that come in with the HiQ Center Driller. Okay, not to be confused with a center drill that you use in a drill, the center driller, and it's designed for 2, 3, 4 and 5mm rod. Okay, so it shows you on the back here the instructions on how you use it. So rather than just look at it and basically, you know, say it's nice and turn the camera off, we're going to do a little few experiments. So as I say, it's 2, 3, 4 and 5mm. I've only got 2mm. The rest of my rod is all Imperial. But as you can see here, if I file the end square, sand the end square, I can put this 2mm tube in there, and it kind of, it's almost like it holds it. You see what I mean? I'm not holding it in place. It is staying in there on its own. So just get that centered in there and then hold it in place, come in with the drill, and because you've got such a long distance, it's going to keep it square. So I can just go in like that. Okay, or you could use a power tool, but I would always recommend doing this manually. Okay, so I can go in like that, drill in like that, there we go. So now I've started the hole and it's nice and square. As you can see, I can put that drill in there and it's nice and square. As I turn the drill, it's not all going like this and wandering around. So we've got a nice square hole, which is lovely. So if I was making a mast or something, or you know, scratch building something, a hydraulic cylinder, I've now got that hole there, and I can go in with a bigger drill now and use that as my guide. So this can be used exactly how you used my Titanic drilling bushes. Okay, the ones I did for the Titanic portholes. So the other thing we can do with this is also put this in like this. And we can also go in like that and drill from the side straight through, and we know that we're square, and we're going to go straight through the centre. Okay, and we're through. The drill coming out the other side. It's a lovely tight fit in there, and now we've got a hole directly through. Come on, camera, focus. We've got a hole directly through the centre there. So great if you're making steering arms or something. Because what you can do now is just cut the end off, put your pin through there, and you'll have your steering arm all made. So that's wonderful. It's really difficult to do by hand. So just using a bit of ingenuity, what I've got here is a piece of tube, which is, this is a 5mm hole, and this piece of tube is 4.8, which is 332, is it? So what I'm going to do is a bit of masking tape and just wrap the masking tape around, and that should give me a, yeah, it's a bit too much masking tape, so I'm going to take some off. Take some away, come in with the cutters, good cutters, cut that away, and that should fit in there nice and snug now. So now I can come with my 1mm drill, and I can drill through the side of there, and again I've got a hole directly through the centre, through the side of my piece of tube. Okay. And then also, if you wanted to use this for centering through something which is 1/8, okay. Now 1/8 is just over 3mm, it's like 3.17 or something. So it's a bit much to be using packing in there. So what we could do is put that 1/8 in there. We could wrap a piece of tape around this. Okay, pack that out. So that fits nice and snug. It's too much tape again. So we're just going to cut some off, just like so. So that's that packed out. So that's a nice snug fit in there now. So what I could do now is put that in there, put that through there. We'll drill in a different spot. Okay, so now I can use that as a tool to help me drill through. We don't need to go right the way through. If we're only going to go halfway through, we can go halfway through. So now I've got a hole drilled halfway through my piece of tubing, my piece of rod that wouldn't actually fit in the gauge because it's not the right size. So just by using bits of masking tape and pieces of tube and stuff like that, we can actually do a good job. Now we could also come along now, put this in here. Okay, hold that in there. Hold that into the 5mm section, and then I'm going to have to hold that tube in there a bit tighter. So basically I can hold this in here, hold that in there like that, and then the trouble is here, the drill isn't out far enough, and it's also pushing the tube away, so you'd have to have it quite tight in there. So I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll put another tiny bit of tape on there, and then we can wedge it in there. There we go, nice and tight. And now I can put that in there like that, hold that down, and drill the end of my 1/8, and hopefully, yeah, it's just off because of all the tape and everything. So it's not so good for doing it that way, because I've actually bodged it up and had it too tight in there. But basically you can use tape and bits of plastic and stuff to get you all packed out, or just make sure when you're scratch building you use 2, 3, 4 or 5mm rod or tube or whatever. But a lot of people will probably think it's a bit gimmicky, it's a bit unnecessary. I think it's a really handy little tool if you're into scratch building, because if you are into scratch building, we all know how difficult it is to get holes drilled in the centre of the end of rods and square and everything, and also through the side. It's very difficult as well. So there we go, that's just been a quick review of that little tool. As I say, this is called the HiQ Center Driller, not to be confused with a center drill. It retails on the site at $26.95. As I say, use my code NMB10 and you can get yourself 10% off. So that'll be what, £2.70 off of that. So you're talking at what's that, £24.75, so less than £25. And handy little tool. Whether you use it a lot or not is going to be up to how you do your modelling. If you're an out-of-the-box builder, you're not going to use it at all. If you're a scratch builder, I think you probably use it quite a lot. And I'm sure that there are scratch builders out there who are extremely professional, and they would probably machine up some aluminium or something, which I may well do, to take the different sizes. So have a 5mm aluminium tube OD with an 1/8, 3/32, whatever, all the different bores, so you can use your imperial rods and still use the tool, and they work in both the horizontal and the vertical. So there we go. I'll just give you a close up of the tool. That's what it looks like. You've got the 1mm holes on the ends, and then I think that's amazing how it holds that 2mm. I think that's incredible. How it's holding that in there without me touching it. So there we go, guys. I'm sorry I haven't got any other metric tubing to show you, or tubing or bar to show you. So there we go. That's the tool. HiQ, get over to Premium Hobbies, get yourself one if you think you use it, and don't forget the code NMB10. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.